Now, I love the freedom that comes with riding a bike. The wind in your hair, actually however much of it I have, beating traffic when you can, and also not worrying about parking in town, paying for it, or even worse, getting a ticket, which is such a painful experience. Now, what's actually better than riding a bike? It's actually riding an e-bike, and not just any e-bike, a folding e-bike. Meet the SpeedEbike A20 Pro, a folding e-bike that answers the call to all the things I just mentioned. It's lightweight, compact, and rides smoothly and folds away, which makes riding it from point A to B easy and also moving it from point A to B easy as well. Now I'm going to tell you and walk you through all the key points that make the A20 Pro great, my overall experience with it, and also why you may want to consider it for yourself, even if you're a person like me that actually drives on a daily basis. Let's start with the design and build quality. And for sure, this is one area ADO have knocked it out of the park with the A20 Pro. You get 3 different colorway options to pick from, which are gray, blue, and polar gradient. Now the color I have here is gray and it looks great, modern, understated, and it just screams premium and very well built. Now the bike is using a strong and lightweight aluminum frame with hydraulic brakes for smooth and strong stopping power experience, double-walled aluminum wheels for a sleek design, a tail light with built-in indicators for turn signal navigation on the road, alongside a headlight with an IPX5 rating and 1200 lumens of brightness for clear visibility at night, folding pedals, a carbon belt using a gearless design for low maintenance and longevity, and a very unique design choice for the placement of the removable battery, which is actually not in the center column of the bike, which actually is where you find it in most cases in a medium-sized folding bike like this, but actually it is the seat column itself, which I think is genius and makes the weight distribution of the bike just so good. Now let's talk about the folding mechanism experience on this bike, and I have to say it works so well. It's straightforward and easy, and it has to be one of the best I've experienced yet. It consists of 4 areas that you can adjust with an additional secure touch that makes me really just appreciate and enjoy the process so much more. Now, first off is the seat column, which can be pushed all the way down with the integrated stoppers on the side. Next is the front column with the handlebar, which can also be folded down and also rotated in 2 parts, which is great. Last is the center frame, which folds easily with my favorite additional touch to actually secure the bike to make it even more compact, the magnetic buckle. I really love the attention to detail here, and it just makes the folding experience stress-free. Now, even before getting to this part, what I really appreciate is just how easy it is to build and set up the bike. The packaging is nice, compact, well protected to ensure everything you need is in place to actually get this bike done and built. And in regards to that, it really does come with all the tools that you need to actually build it ready to ride. And in fact, a good amount of the bike is actually already built from the jump. Now, look, for someone like me, where time is never on my side, and I really just want to get straightforward to the best part, which is the bike being built and ready to ride, this is probably the easiest e-bike I've had the pleasure of setting up. So yeah, from the setup process, design, build quality, the folding mechanism, this is a top tier experience with the A20 Pro. So what actually drives and powers the A20 Pro? Well, it's really all down to the 250 kilowatt integrated 3-speed Bafang motor, which makes the pedal assistance smooth and powerful when riding. Since it's also using an automatic gearing system, it really does make the ride experience straightforward and something you don't have to think about too much. You just select whether you want to be in eco mode or sport mode at the 3 levels you want, and then I guess off you go. Now the max range is rated up to 100 kilometers, and of course, this is all down to whether you actually want to be riding it in eco or sport mode, and also the intensity, and plus things like the terrain as well. Now the max speed is up to 25 kilometers an hour, and you know, that's with the pedal assistance and the auto gearing system feature, which I believe kicks up a gear when you go above 20 kilometers an hour, making the pedaling naturally feel harder, but actually it means you can ride faster, which is a given. Now, just be warned that if you do want to actually let the auto gearing to actually go down a level, you do have to stop pedaling, go below 20 kilometers an hour for that to kick in. in, which is something you do have to consider if you're actually riding on an incline or a hilly part of the road. Now, the battery capacity is approximately 345 watt hours, which is based on a 36 volt and 9.6 amps rating, and charging time is rated between 4 to 6 hours. What's also interesting with the A20 Pro is that it's one of the first fully foldable e-bikes that's actually using a carbon belt drive for long-term endurance and low maintenance. It's such a good system to use and makes it a stress-free experience when riding it. Everything I've said so far, what's the most important thing? The ride experience. Now, the core consideration when it comes to this section is ride comfort when looking at things like the seat, the suspension, and tires. And secondly, you have to look at things like the braking power, which is related to things like the strength, response, and the consistency throughout. And of course, lastly, in this particular case of an e-bike, how good is the electric assistance when riding? Now, I have to say the ride experience overall is very good. And what really helps with that is the fact that it is using 20-inch size wheels, the profile, the size of the bike itself, the adjustable suspension, which all comes together to really help with that. Now, when it comes to the seat, it did take me a little while to get used to in regards to the comfort. And I think that's just more down to the profile of it and the thickness where, it does lack heavy padding. After a while though, I did adjust to it and get used to it. So it's just something you have to consider, and I would recommend getting extra padding accessories to just make it much more comfortable if you feel you need it. And also, I will say one thing I appreciate about the A20 Pro is that it doesn't use an ignition key system to actually make the electric power and the OSD on-screen display work. Now, this is where it's so clever. There's a nice locking system to ensure that the battery column with the seat stays in place, and then you can actually use the included keys to unlock it to allow you to adjust it or completely remove the column so you can charge it away from the bike if needed. Now, to turn on the bike, once everything is all connected, all you need to do is press the battery on button underneath the seat here, and then you press and hold the on-screen display for about 6 seconds, and then that's when the bike turns on. The dedicated app as well is so easy and straightforward to connect once the bike is on, and gives you access to easily switch between eco and sport mode, turn on and off your front headlight, and also just visibility for all the different information that you need when it comes to things like total ride time, distance, alongside even things like firmware updates. With all that being said, let me actually show you a sequence and take you through a mini day in the life of me using an A20 Pro. Rise in the morning, we are going to be taking the ADO A20 Pro to work. No driving. We are going to hop on a bus and pretty much show my riding experience with it and the convenience that comes with having a folding bike. So yeah, taking off the charger in the morning and catching the bus. Now, once I'm on the bus, you can pretty much see the convenience of being able to fold and tuck this bike away nice and compact in different positions. And yeah, it doesn't really take me that long to get into my main city before I start work nice and early, jumping off the bus. And yeah, it's easy to pretty much just pick up the bike and come out. Now, of course, it's not light, but it's not super heavy either. I've got more compact bikes that actually weigh more than this. So it's a really nice weight balance, and it's easy to pretty much fold the pedals out, get it onto the lock with my lock. And yeah, it's just very simple and straightforward. It's easy to just unfold and fold together. Now, once that is secure, I can just put the lock onto the seat column to make sure that the battery can't be removed. And yeah, pretty much grab a bit of breakfast when I sit down before having to ride off to work. And the area that I work, there is a decent amount of, let's just say, incline going uphill and downhill and different terrains and stuff. So it's a real challenge for riding in general, and this is where having an electric bike really helps with the pedal assist and going through. Now, like I said previously, you do have a maximum speed limit of 25 kilometers an hour, and that does change based on an automatic gearing system in terms of your pedaling strength. Now, when I get to work, I pretty much park it up, put it on charge, nice and easy, get to my editing station and my workstation to pretty much start the day. Now, day goes fairly quick most of the time as we're very productive. Now time for lunch. Gonna ride into the main town to get some food. I didn't bring my own food today, but it was all just in sequence to just show you how the riding experience is to get out and about. The ride to get some lunch was around 6 to 8 minutes, locked up,
pretty much turned off the battery, went inside to get some food. Yeah, it wasn't really that long at all. So it's very nice and convenient, especially not having to worry about parking. It's easier to just chain it up and go. And then using applications, switching between eco mode and sport mode is very, very nice with the dedicated application. Get back to work, and yeah, the end of the day pretty much arises, and it's now time to go into the town center to catch the bus. And that's where the convenience really comes in with this. It really rides well and it handles the terrain well. Again, the seating experience was something I needed to get adjusted to, but once I did, it was still nice and comfortable and easy to get about. And yeah, once you get into town, again, folding the bike to get onto the bus is quick, easy and convenient, and that's where the compact nature of it really helps to be able to commute with this on a day-to-day. So yeah, this has really been the experience with it. And of course, there's times where I've gone on the train and used it as well, so you will see that the compact nature really helps not just on buses but on train rides, and also getting it into the back of the car as well, which is something that makes it very convenient. And that's even with something like a very small hatchback as well. So yeah, it's a good look when it comes to using an A20 Pro day to day.
I've really enjoyed my time with the A20 Pro from ADO, and it's definitely one to consider and also recommend. So check the link in the description below for where you can get yours, and thank you to ADO for sponsoring this video.